No, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. I gotta pick you with you to another. I will stay. No, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. I got somebody at home, and if I stay, I might not leave alone. No.
Hello my friends of the internet, Sarah here, and I have an exciting DIY video for y'all. It's super easy. You can get together with your friends and try some of these out. You can do 3 shirts separately, or you can go ahead and combine all of the 3 shirts and make one awesome shirt that has all of these incorporated in it. You could definitely do that. In fact, if you do that, be sure to tag me in Instagram or tweet it to me. I'll have all those linked down below. Also, be sure to, down below in the comments, leave a comment about what you are most excited for this summer, because I'm in summer school, so I'm gonna vicariously, is that the word? I'm not really sure, but I'm going to live through y'all's comments. So leave those down below so I can be excited for y'all, because I'm in school. I'm not really excited with life at the moment, but I'm going through it anyways. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, or if you like these types of videos, so I know and can do more of them in the future for y'all. And I think that's basically it. Let's go ahead and get started. So for this shirt, you need a plaid button down. I got mine from Goodwill. You need a paintbrush. You're also going to need some fabric paint. I used white, but you can definitely use any color you prefer. And then you're also going to need something to put that paint on. This next part is optional. I used a stencil. You don't have to. You can definitely hand paint it, and I think it would look really cool as well. And then the last thing I got was tape to hold the stencil in place. So first you're going to want to turn your shirt backwards so that you can paint on it, because we're painting on the back. And make sure it's as flat as possible because you don't want any weird creases. And then, like I said, I used a stencil and I used printer paper. I would highly recommend not using printer paper because it starts to fold and crinkle. Use thicker paper if you're going to use a stencil, but I did like it because it did kind of help map out my letters and show where each one was, and I just fixed it later. So you can do that if you really want to, but I wouldn't highly recommend it. And then use a good tape, not washi tape like I showed before. Use a good sticky tape so it actually holds it in place, because that washi tape would not stick to the fabric. I tried for probably a good 10 minutes and nothing happened, so definitely do not use washi tape. And once you've got that secure, go ahead and grab your fabric paint. And when you are using your fabric paint, I definitely recommend that you go from the paper inwards towards the letter, because it'll help you get a crisp line. And I didn't really use the paper or the stencil to really get a nice pigmented letter. I just used it to just get a sense of where the letters were, because I was using the printer paper, which made it a bit more difficult. So as you can see, I'm not really filling in the letters all the way, just kind of the edges to make sure I get a sense of where the letters are and where the lines for the letters are. Once I finally finished painting, I went ahead and ripped off my stencil and then went back in and filled in my letters, making them more pigmented and crisp looking and trying to fix up any mistakes. And because I couldn't do all the mistakes, I went ahead and did splatter paint to help cover up any other ones that were still present on the shirt. I thought it'd be cool if I showed y'all how I would style it, so here's some clips of that. For this shirt, you're going to need a plain t-shirt. I use this gray one. You're also going to want some scissors, and you're also going to need some ribbon. I use this black felt ribbon from Hobby Lobby. And then you're also going to want some fabric glue. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your ribbon and measure it around the sleeve of your shirt to make sure you've got enough, and then go ahead and trim it off. I like to leave a little excess just in case if there's a mistake or something, I got excess. And then go ahead and start to add fabric glue and glue it to the sleeve. I decided to glue it along the seam that was on the sleeve already and cover that up to kind of pinpoint where I wanted to glue it, and it helped me keep it in a nice straight line. But if you wanted to do it higher up or lower to the tip of the sleeve, you definitely can. And then I went ahead and added another strip around it and did it about an inch apart from where the first one was, and then just went ahead and glued that one on as well. And make sure you don't forget to cut off any of the excess ribbon you have. And I like to leave a little overlap to make sure that it stays on. I found it really difficult to make the ribbon stay, so I grabbed a little sewing kit I got from Dollar Tree and stitched it where the two ribbons overlapped. I did it under the armpit seam, so it was hidden, no one could see it, but I used black string and just stitched it a couple times to help secure it down, and it's perfect, no one can see it, and it really does help keep the ribbon in place. Here is how I style this sporty shirt.
Shalala, I need you. Shalala, I love you. Shalala, I need you. Shalala, I love you.
For this last shirt, you're going to need a plain t-shirt. I use this blue one from Goodwill. You're also going to want some kind of fabric. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It's really not expensive. And then some scissors to cut that fabric with. And then you can use glue or sewing supplies. I used both, but you can do whatever you prefer and you think would look cool. And then you might also want an iron and a ruler too to help make it more precise. For the pocket, I grabbed my ruler and I measured 7.5 inches long and 5 1/4 inches wide for the pocket, and I just drew along it with a ruler and pencil, and the pencil comes out so it's not permanent like a pen or a marker or something. And then just go ahead and cut that little square out. First, for the pocket, I made a long acute triangle along the bottom, and then I grabbed my iron and went ahead and ironed over this to help make a nice crisp line for the pocket. It also is really good because it helps you map out what your pocket's going to look like, and you can still adjust and change things accordingly to make your pocket look good. And then I went ahead and took the other corner and I kind of counted out and marked out where the center would be and folded that up, so then the point was in the middle of the pocket, and went ahead and ironed that down to get a good sense of what the pocket's going to look like. This part was a bit tricky. I went ahead, it's about 1/4 of an inch, and went ahead and ironed that down to make a crisp line. And then this side, it's about 1 inch to 1 1/4 inches. So it kind of depends. I just went ahead and checked and turned the pocket over, made sure it looked like it was centered, and then ironed that down too. And then for the top of the pocket, I just folded down about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more than 1 inch. I think it was maybe 1 1/4 inches again, or 1.5 inches, and ironed that down so it is the top part of the pocket. Then, because I'm a perfectionist, I went ahead and trimmed that long side down so it was close to the same size as the other side. Instead of having one really big one, I trimmed it down. And then I went ahead and glued down the bottom pieces so that they were adhered to the fabric and they are just a perfect pocket, you know, like just gluing the pocket together. That's basically what I'm doing here. I glued down the two triangles first in the order I folded them, and then I just glued down the corners on each of the sides to make sure that those stayed adhered to the pocket part of the shirt. The last thing we have to stick together for the pocket is the top flap. You can glue this down with the fabric glue. I decided to sew it with a sewing machine because I thought it made the pocket look a bit more professional. Once you've got that all together, go ahead and glue it to the shirt. I recommend trying the shirt on and marking with a pencil where you want the pocket to be before you just go ahead and glue on the pocket. Make sure when you're gluing your pocket to your shirt, you only glue the sides and the bottom down. You don't want to glue the top, because if you do that, then you will have a pocket that doesn't function as a pocket, and no one wants that, because this pocket really works. It's the coolest thing ever. Here is how I styled this last shirt.
One more no and I'll believe you. I walk away and I will leave you be. And now's the last time you'll say no to me.